Hello from Bryson City! Bryson City is a quaint mountain town nestled near both the Blue Ridge and Smoky Mountains in North Carolina. And it's also home of the Great Smoky Mountain Railroad. It's also home to the Great Smoky Mountain Museum. When visiting Bryson City, you don't want to miss a visit to the creepy yet cool Road to Nowhere. This area is also known for trying your hand at water sports like tubing or kayaking. Another favorite of both locals and tourists is going on the 3 Waterfall hike on the Deep Creek Trail, all just a short drive from downtown Bryson City. One thing that may surprise you is that Bryson City has been named by USA Today as one of the top 10 small towns in the US with the best beer scene. But I'm here today to show you that they're also home to super cool restaurants. Whoop-whoop-de-doo. On my last trip, I set out to eat at the top 6 Bryson City restaurants according to TripAdvisor. I did manage to try 5 of them. One I couldn't get into. Rookie mistake on my part, but I'll tell you what happened later in this video so you don't make the same mistake. Overall, I enjoyed every meal, but I'll be honest, one didn't quite live up to the hype. Stick around to find out which ones made my favorites list, which one fell a little flat, and a few other hidden gems in Bryson City that I personally think deserve a spot at the top. Oh, and at the end, I'll show you where to grab some free one-day itinerary ideas to help you plan your Bryson City adventure like a pro. But before we jump in, welcome to my little corner of YouTube where I share travel tips, hacks, deals, and honest reviews to help you make the most of your trips. If that's your thing, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you find this video helpful, fun, or just enjoy tagging along with me, give it a like so I know. I'd also love to hear from you in the comments. Have you tried any of these Bryson City restaurants? Which ones are on your must-try list? So thanks for watching. Let's go ahead and dig right in. Number 1 on the list is High Test Deli and Sweet Shop. High Test Deli is one of the highest rated restaurants on TripAdvisor for Bryson City. The owner was super nice. He greeted me as I came in. He said hello. He was working right there behind the counter with everybody else, working the floor. He said they've been here for a little over 18 years now. It is one of the heart and souls of downtown Bryson City. I absolutely love the quirky roadside gas station theme, all the way from the nostalgic license plates on the wall to the cute deli sandwich names like the Filler Up, the Diesel, and the Supercharge. And I ate there this afternoon. I had the French dip. It was wonderful. I'd heard whispers about the French dip at High Test Deli, and as someone who considers that sandwich a love language, I had to give it a try. And let me tell you, it did not disappoint. The meat was melt in your mouth tender, the bread had that perfect balance of soft and crusty, and the melted cheese tied everything together like a warm, savory hug. And then there's that au jus, rich, flavorful, and just the right amount of salty. This wasn't just a sandwich, it was a moment. And it was so good. So glad that I tried it. I highly recommend. Next on my foodie wish list was the Beastro at the historic Everett Hotel. At the time of this video, the Beastro came up as number 2 best in Bryson City, and my taste buds were ready for action. But here's where I hit the snag. Turns out that they primarily reserve tables for hotel guests only, and if you're not staying there, you need to book at least 7 days in advance. Oops. So, while I didn't get to sample the dishes myself, I still wanted to include it in this video to pass along that little tip so you can learn from my mistake. If this is a place that's on your radar, and it should be, plan ahead. Your future self and your stomach will thank you. Coming in at number 3 on TripAdvisor, but definitely top tier in my book, is the Everett Street Diner, aka the heart of Bryson City's breakfast scene. And when I say the heart, I mean that quite literally. It's the only sit-down, served to your table breakfast spot in downtown. But don't let that fool you. They're not just an only option, they're a great one. Walking in feels like stepping straight into a childhood memory. You know, the kind like when you're sitting across from your grandma, sipping sweet tea and waiting for your biscuits to hit the table. There's something deeply nostalgic about the place. Homey, welcoming, and full of small town charm. But now here's what really stood out. The owner isn't just back in the kitchen. No, he's out front working the room like a pro, chatting up the tables, cracking jokes.
2 words. Yes, dear. As long as you know yes, dear, yes, ma'am, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about the third one, which is I'm sorry, okay?
Making everyone feel like a regular. I mean, I watched him turn an ordinary morning into a mini celebration for a couple having their anniversary breakfast.
Jason and Michelle are celebrating 25 years.
The whole diner ended up cheering them on, and honestly, it was one of those moments that just made my heart smile. As for the food, oh yeah, the omelet was solid, but those biscuits and gravy, game over. I was surprised. I told myself that I was just going to have a couple bites and, just a sample, but before I knew it, I was wiping the plate clean like it was my last meal. So if you're craving breakfast that tastes like a hug from your southern grandma, this is your spot. Number 4 is River's End. Okay, so it's not technically in downtown Bryson City, but it's close. River's End was my final dinner of the trip. And after days of exploring, hiking, train riding, and eating my way through Bryson City, River's End was the last stop, and it felt like the perfect finale. You'll find it over in Nantahala, right next to the Nantahala Outdoor Center, and let me just say, it's worth every winding scenic mile to get there. River's End is the kind of spot where the view could steal the show. It's perched right over the river with every table having a river view. You'll feel like you can reach right out and drop a french fry right into a kayak. I went with the pecan-encrusted trout, and this dish was absolutely divine. The crust had just the right amount of nutty toastiness, a perfect contrast to the tender, flaky fish beneath. Then came the orange cranberry glaze, bright, citrusy, and just hard enough to cut through the richness. It wasn't overpowering, just the right drizzle to elevate the whole thing without drowning it. On the side was Sherpa rice, which brought this earthy, nutty flavor that paired beautifully with the trout, and a mix of sautéed zucchini and squash, seasoned just right with a bit of herb that made it extra tasty. This was a well-executed balance and honestly a little surprising meal, and I mean that in the best possible way. So, if you're looking to end your day or your entire trip on a high note, River's End is the kind of place that makes it feel like you've saved the best for last. Number 5 is Pascalino's Italian restaurant. All right, now I know what you're thinking. Come on, Christy, you're in a quaint mountain town. Why are you choosing an Italian restaurant? But hear me out, because this place is popular for a reason. Pascalino's has that cozy, old-school Italian vibe where the lights are low, the smells are incredible, and the portions, let's just say they don't believe in sending you home hungry. For starters, I had a small side salad with a delicious blue cheese dressing. It was so creamy, drizzled over crisp, fresh, crunchy lettuce and other veggies. It was the perfect start to my meal. And then, of course, I've got to mention the breadsticks. Those are always a favorite, am I right? They were just the perfect blend of soft and crispy and dipped in a tangy balsamic blend. It was delicious. And then for the main meal, I didn't go the traditional pasta route.
Even though it's Italian, I probably should have had pasta because it's Italian, but they had a prime rib. I haven't had a prime rib in ages.
I went all in with the prime rib.
They brought this thing out. It was as big as my face.
And when I say it was the size of my face, I am not exaggerating. This thing covered the entire plate. The bone was still in, it was perfectly cooked, juicy, tender, and honestly, it was giving major steakhouse energy.
It was juicy, it was pure perfection. It made me wonder why I don't order prime rib more. It was amazing. And they had this baked potato.
And the wine? None of that little polite, just a little splash nonsense.
They were actual good wine portions. Not, the tiny little bit where it's not really anything at all.
If you want a place where you're treated like a guest and not like a table number, and want to leave full, happy, and maybe take home a to-go box the size of your purse, this is your place.
Chef's kiss. It was amazing. I loved it. I highly recommend it if you like Italian food or are looking for a good prime rib.
Number 6 is Jimmy Mac's, and this is the spot that missed the mark for me. Now, before I say anything else, let me be really clear. I am not saying don't go here. Jimmy Mac's is one of the most popular spots in Bryson City, and with tons of glowing reviews and a high rating on TripAdvisor, so clearly a lot of people love it. That being said, I have to be honest about my personal experience because I want to be authentic. You see, I just finished hiking the Road to Nowhere and Nolan Creek Trail, and I was hungry. I mean, like, let's eat all the things kind of hungry. And I'd heard really good things about Jimmy Mac's, so I was really excited to finally check it out. My first impressions is that I loved the ambiance. The vibe was warm and rustic, with antiques on the walls and that classic mountain town feel. I was sure I was about to discover a hidden gem. I decided to go for the stuffed shrimp lunch plate. It was priced a little over $15 and served with a side, which seemed really promising. So I picked the side salad and waited with high hopes. And then the food came out, and it was a huge letdown. So I just finished eating at Jimmy Mac's, and I gotta say, that was the first meal that I've had in Bryson City that I've been disappointed in. I had the stuffed shrimp, and I was starving. I just did a hike at Nolan Creek, and I was starving. Stuffed shrimp sounded great. It was supposed to be stuffed with lobster, and I thought it was a good deal because it came with a side salad. It was like a little over $15, and I get it, and it's this tiny little appetizer dish of like 5 shrimp. 5. And they were only just okay. Like, the flavor was alright. It was kind of burnt on top, each with a tiny dollop of crab stuffing that ended up more crusty than crabby. And the flavor wasn't awful, but it was really dry and overcooked. Honestly, the side salad was the best part of the plate, which is never what you want to say when the main dish is stuffed shrimp and you're hungry after a hike. I did not feel like I got a good deal with that. But like I said, this is just one dish on one visit. One bad meal does not define a restaurant, so I believe there's still more to Jimmy Mac's than what I experienced. It wouldn't stop me from going back to Jimmy Mac's. I've heard a lot of great things about them. It's one of the reasons I went there. They are listed as one of the top restaurants on TripAdvisor in Bryson City. So I would give them another chance, but I would not get the stuffed shrimp again, especially when I'm hungry. That wraps up the top 6 restaurants in Bryson City according to TripAdvisor. But hold up, because before we call it a day, I have a few honorable mentions that in my opinion deserve a little spotlight too. First up is Mountain Layers Brewing. Now, it's not technically a restaurant, but they've got a unique little food truck out back called the Rice Wagon, serving up Hawaiian street food. You'll want to grab a plate, head upstairs, and enjoy it with a locally brewed beer and a rooftop view of the downtown Bryson City area. I mean, come on, great bites, great brews, and one of the best patio views in town. You may even get lucky enough to be there on a night when they have live music. Oh yeah, it's my kind of place, and I stop in whenever I'm in town. Next up is La Dolce Vita Bakery. They do breakfast, pastries, and lunch, and everything I've tried has been absolutely delicious. On my last day in Bryson City, I rented one of their Verbo lofts right above the bakery. There's a bonus if you stay there, because if you do, you get a free coffee, a muffin for breakfast, plus 20% off anything else in the bakery. It's pretty much the coziest way to wake up in town. And finally, there's Boxcar Cafe and Cones. This place is pure retro diner fun, with classic American comfort food on one side and an old-fashioned ice cream parlor on the other. I mean, come on, it's got charm, it's got milkshakes, and it's got that nostalgic vibe that just makes you smile. Of course, this is just a small taste of the amazing places to eat in Bryson City. If you want the full list, including even more hidden gems, check out my blog at northcarolinatraveler.com. I'll drop the link in the description below. And if you're planning a visit, I've also created some custom one-day itineraries to help you make the most of your trip. They're linked below too. And now, I want to hear from you. What was your favorite restaurant featured in this video? Or have you tried any of them? Let me know your experience. Or is there a spot that you love that should have made the list? Let me know in the comments. I always love discovering new places. And hey, if you found this video helpful or entertaining, don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll know when the next one drops. Thanks again for watching, and as always, happy travels!